had Prince in 2018, and he came home in 2019, early January 2019. And so, you know, the year 2019 was just us trying to figure out how to, you know, deal with the situation. And so it was not very good year for us. We were having to learn him and understand him. The schedule was crazy. We literally had no break. We were going from one appointment to the other, one therapy section to the other, and it was just very overwhelming. And so when I look back, I know that we wouldn't have been able to do it by ourselves. You know, there's some people that were there for us, and I figured I need to appreciate them. I might have said it to them before, but just doing a proper video to appreciate them and give them their flowers now, you know, will go a long way. And also it would be a lesson. So you know, the pandemic year started also, and literally we were just siloed to the four corners of our house, especially having a medically fragile child. We couldn't do much. There's some people that went out of their ways to drop us groceries. You know, sometimes we didn't ask for it. Sometimes we would ask them to shop for us, and of course we would pay them. But most of the time, people just knew that we needed that support, and they dropped grocery at the door. They didn't. Sometimes they wouldn't even ask to come in because, you know, they know the pandemic was out and we were being cautious. You know yourselves, I cannot begin to mention names. My family is very grateful. You guys did amazingly well. You know, I cannot appreciate you guys enough. I also want to thank my families, my parents, my siblings. You guys, whether emotionally, physically, however way you have supported us, thank you so much. Thanks for the prayers. Oh my goodness. My mom, oh my goodness, I cannot thank you enough. Thank you so much. I cannot thank you enough for those endless prayers. You know, you weren't sleeping. All you did was just prayed and prayed. You and my other mom, I cannot thank you enough. My mom had a prayer partner, and they literally prayed every night, non-stop. I mean, all of those prayers, they literally they've been answered, no doubt about that. They've been answered. Some have been manifested and some are in the works, and I am so grateful for having you guys stand with us at that time and even now. I want to thank the people that reached out one way or the other. I am very grateful. Some people had to watch Praise and Precious while we make trips to the hospitals to go check on Prince. Also, there are some people far away in Nigeria. Pastor Smith, oh my goodness. Pastor Smith, I know this is going to come to you as a shock, but I'm getting emotional because Pastor Smith, I cannot thank you enough. Was one person that was all the way in Nigeria and was very involved and was praying and was checking up on us and was just encouraging us and wished that they were here to support me and just to embrace me. Thank you, sir. And thank you for all the works that you have put in to help the foundation to start on a good note. Thank you so much. I'm not one that keeps friends. I have two very special people in my life. They're friends, but they're no longer friends. They're sisters. They're my sisters. One of them is Tope. If you know Tope, help me thank her a lot. This was one person. We were friends, but I didn't know the depth of this friendship until Prince was born. She made herself available. There was a point that my biological sister Nika called me and said, "Can you please call this lady? She's been disturbing me. Can you please pick her call?" And after I started to communicate with her, I knew that her intentions were real, and I welcomed her into the situation. I welcomed her in because for a lot of people, I didn't open up at first. I was very shocked about the situation, and so I wasn't talking to a lot of people. But because of how persistent she was, I welcomed her into the situation, and she was visiting Prince at the hospital like Prince was her own child. At a point in time, I had to remove one of my siblings' name at the reception, at the hospital reception, to add Tokwe's name to it because she was going so frequently, just going there, you know, sometimes with me. Sometimes she's calling me after work and asking me, am I on my way? Can she join me? Sometimes she's bringing me food. And it does not only end at the hospital. Even at home, Tokwe continues to come, bring us lunch. You know, me and the kids, if she will bring us lunch. She was the first person, aside from my parents, that held Prince. That, like, literally, as a matter of fact, she's given Prince a bath before. She was not afraid of the situation. She was not irritated by the situation. She was all in. She was all in, and Prince was very familiar with her. She didn't distance herself. She just came in, and anything that was needed, she was there to support. And also, all of Prince's appointments, she made herself, you know, she doesn't necessarily go to the appointments with me, but she knew what was going on in all of these appointments. She knew what was going on. She would call and ask, which is very rare to see in a Nigerian community. Everybody knows something is wrong, but nobody's asking questions. But she was one person that even if you don't want to talk, she had questions, and so you have no choice but to answer her questions. So she was very, very informed about the situation. She knows everything that we're doing with him. She knows the plan for him. I mean, it's amazing. She made sure to include me in her life, and I do not take that for granted. I also want to thank my other friend, Simone. Simone, that's one person that I appreciate, because when Prince came home, Simone called me and said, "Ronke, you know, I need you to get some rest. You're doing so much. I'm gonna come over next weekend. I want you to teach me all of this equipment. Maybe you take we do like a 3-weekend class, you know, where you teach us everything. You don't have to, if you don't want to repeat it, maybe you can include your mom and whoever else you want to include. That way you can teach us. That way, if you want to go out for a moment, somebody will be available." I mean, that to me was amazing. You know, that was the first and only person that has ever said that to me, that they needed to learn Prince's equipment. And so I do not take that for granted. Thank you, Simone. Also, you know, she's my friend. We would talk on the phone, and she would stop and ask me, "Ronke, how are you doing? I know you want to share about Prince. I know you want to talk about these other things, but I want to know how my friend is doing." And that means the world to me. Sometimes I do not know how I'm doing until she asks me that question, and then I would literally break down and, you know, start maybe crying and expressing myself and tell her how I'm feeling. I do not take it for granted. Thank you, Simone, for how far you have supported me on this journey. There are other people. We had Dr. Toyosi. You know, when Prince was born, the situation was very new to us, that we had to invite a doctor friend from church to sit with us at every meeting that the doctors will hold with us. And so half of the time I'm crying. I am literally sobbing. Like I didn't understand what they were saying. Dr. Toyosi sat in the meeting and answered or asked questions on our behalf, and was literally there for my family. Even after the hospital, she would check in and see how we're doing. And I thank her for advocating for our family at that time. I'm so grateful. In case I have never said this to you, Dr. Toyosi, please accept my appreciation. Thank you so much. Sometimes you had other things planned, you had things to do, but if there's a meeting about Prince, you usually make a way. You made yourself available, and so I am so grateful for this. I want to thank other people. I cannot begin to mention names. Those situations that I have just shared, they stood out for me. And so other people in my life, Mrs. Adeshina, Mrs. Bello, Mrs. Oladino, I cannot thank you guys enough. I am grateful for having you guys in my circle. Even though I am far away in California, you guys still check on me. You check on the family. A lot of you guys know what's happening with Prince. If there's any progress, you see any posting, you're always calling to see how things are going. I am grateful. Thank you all so much. I hope that people would be able to see from all of these things that you have done that nobody's an island. Everybody needs support at any point in time at a point in time in their life. And so if you're that person that can be of support to people around you, please do not hesitate, because you do not know. If I didn't have this support, I don't think I would be here. And that's a story for another day, because I would share some of the things that actually went down. But I felt like all of this support were the reason that I am still here, and the reason that I and my family made it through. Some people supported us monetarily. Some people supported us with their presence. They would come to the house and just encourage us. Some would pray with us. Some would just chit chat and help us to take our mind off of the chaos. All of this I appreciate. I am so thankful for it. I do not take it for granted. My family has been able to come this far because of all of your support. So thank you guys, and I pray that God would have people readily available for you when you go through stuff. In your time of need, you would have people to support you in Jesus' name. So thank you guys.